guest today. She's a life coach and NL regalebella taba ya batho ba bantsi ba bopilo le rough.
Vision. Then
I think that she's doing to the other guy when she cheated on me.
Down the line gore elor mutho ono la be condom.
O komodisa style ke ore unya ndela khosha wena.
Ele ke aga ka more no fetja unya go do umudi agribani. Motho ne le bana ba bararo maratse gore o ka se mdile.
Re shomela se for play be. O di bone ga dilo jaja. Bo di bona ga cases ja divorce in church.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Wives and husbands are two holy.
Okay.
Let's get it today. I'm in a brother finally famous, caught up in the matrix. I'm out here finna get it, yeah. Man, I'm chasing all this paper, looking for.
Welcome to the coolest episode all around the world, The Couch, where everything goes. And this is our third episode doing it today. And I've seen a lot of activities. It's going far, and it means that you guys are listening, and we're going to keep on bringing you the best topics. So right now, without any waste of time, we got a new guest in our studio. But no, I just remembered something. Guys, there's an advert here. Bari vono rugene batho abantshi banofa mabaga ba re na ngofa thaba nini galibaka la rona mezi. So the water boys just came up with a new solution. These people work with drilling and borehole maintenance and bakumana ya mamokadi. But then if you want them on the contact, you can call them on 064 536 9003 or 076 360 2694. For WhatsApp, 076 018 3873. They work with tanks, pumps, casing, and stand and pipes. It's the water boys. No more reason na amazing guy kataba. And now they have a new special going on. If 8 people from a village call them and say, come and drill boreholes for me, the 9th one, they give it for free. It's either for the village or the community. You choose, or okay, money made. It's either for the community or a specific person, or okay, we want you to drill for the person. But the catch is there has to be 8 people in that village in 1 month wanting the water drilling. So that's the water boys, and I gave you all the info. Let's go back to today's business. We're gonna head on to our guest today. She's a life coach and NLP practitioner, relationship coach, marriage therapist and efficient, youth coach, transformational speaker. Miss or Mrs. Mathelo, our life coach for today. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yo, you wrote your stuff in English here. So I didn't understand anything. I just saw marriage. I'm like, oh, okay, I know marriage. So welcome to the couch where everything goes.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, and we appreciate you. And before we go on, please tell these people who you are and what you deal with.
Okay. My name is Coach Mathelo.
Okay.
But let me give you a little bit of a background behind the name Coach Mathelo Mola.
Okay.
My ID names is Tishejo Petunia Bilusa.
All right.
I'm a tiny girl that was born and bred in Palaborwa in Matipane village.
Okay.
Bilusa is my parents' surname.
Okay.
And I got married to Karamola.
Okay.
So when I walked into the Mola clan, you're welcome, our beautiful bride. But we're not gonna call you Tishejo or we're not gonna call you Petunia.
Okay.
Vampa a list of names on our traditional wedding ceremony.
Okay.
And Gaya Guadama Kalochela Mathelo. That's where the name comes from. So I'm a bride to the Mola clan, but I'm a daughter Wagarasukololo Lipilusa.
Okay.
So I'm a life coach. I'm a relationship and youth coach.
Okay.
I'm an LNP practitioner. I'm a marriage officiant and a marriage therapist.
Okay.
Basically, what I do on a daily basis is assist people to navigate through life.
Okay.
Life in general, whether it's work related, whether it's just your life that you feel is not moving, I can be able to assist you to move from point A to point B.
Okay.
In terms of marriages, I like in that aspect of marriage, I do it all. I give premarital counseling. That's
Okay.
when a guy and a lady decide that they want to get married, but you know they need to get to know each other first and attend the premarital counseling and see if they are in alignment with one another.
Okay.
Then I also officiate. That means I come during the wedding ceremony and I officiate the marriage, and I also take it upon myself so that when you sign on the marriage register, I take that to Home Affairs and they print out your marriage certificate and I have it delivered to your door.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
that's basically what I do on a daily basis.
Okay.
And I run a company called Grave to Gardens. And that company, it's all about transformation, it's all about healing, it's all about restoration, it's all about new beginnings. Hence the logo that says giving you beauty for your ashes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying that it's grave to gardens,
Yes.
meaning, or okay, let's say the relationship you have with Pelobel, you gotta leave it, but then you
Yes.
take it out and being beautiful garden.
Yes,
Oh,
re
okay.
unshakara libita ra uisa into
Oh.
that beautiful garden that
Yeah.
you have in mind, because you have to have that garden in mind in order for me to move you from that grave to that garden.
Okay.
Because if you don't have that garden in mind, then I'm also
Awuna
going to be
molea.
stuck.
Oh.
Le nna nka se tsebe gore ke buisa mo kae. So you have to have that garden in mind.
Okay. So, okay, let's start with, you said also you were a youth coach.
Yes.
So basically on the youth part, what aspects do you deal with?
You know, each and every aspect of the youth, it's catered for, because you know these days there's substance abuse. You know, youth are just loitering around, and you know they lose their morals and they don't see life. Or they don't have a vision of where they want to go. Baswa banophila because wapidiwa. They've lost the essence ya bophelo and they don't know what is it they want. And banele this tendency or banyaka gore dilo di dieye very quick. So it's banyaka bophelo bjo la ba o tshwana le 2-minute noodles. We then shakara microwave 2 minutes you're ready to eat. But they don't want to labor for everything that they have to get. Uba bona le ba eka haye batswadi ba bona ba ke ba roma, it's a problem, but banyaka gore batswadi ba DL. At the end of the day, banele that mentality wa entitlement, or because you are my mother you have to do it, because you are my father you have to do it. Parents don't owe you anything. You have to get up and work in order to assist them as they help you also to make it in life.
So, okay, I hear you. Or it can happen like that. But let's just say specifically from our villages, okay? These people don't know that. Or you have to have goals, you have to have all these things going on. That's why they just lost hope, because they thought the way to life is like this, only to realize it's not like that. Because you cannot know where you're going without having a goal on site. But
True.
who is there to come and tell you, or in life you have to set goals, you have to have a vision on where you're going. Because, okay, it's in the village, you know how the villages work. That's why there are a lot of youth, I think, they gave up on life. So I want to ask, but about the youth or the meetings just like here, maybe you have to coach them. Gama feel awe le tagano na le bobona or ba encounter or bophelo ba bona be keabele.
The biggest challenge is losing hope.
Okay.
And losing hope again to allow ababoni, how do I put it? They don't see life from any other angle than their angle. Good babona okare abuwo bophelo at all,
Out of the
because
box.
they do not have that motivation, number one. They do not have role models, number two. They do not have anybody that they look up to.
yeah,
Why one? So hence we are all about giving back to the communities, so that but especially youth, you can one at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, the things that you do, for example, that also youth yaborena, especially anamo the rural areas jaborena, it becomes motivation to say, you know, if he did it, I can also do it.
Okay, but I think I think the problem with it is conformity. People following trends just because everybody's doing it. I have to do it. You conform to how that village operates. Let's say, for instance, groove. Everybody's going to groove. You don't know why they're going there. You also are going there. But you, instead, you have a different life that you have to follow. But just because everybody's doing it, everything is cool, let's just go there and do whatever they do. And then you lose sight. And then at the end of the day, lojawa tagan, and then you lose hope. Who are you to blame?
You blame yourself.
Yeah.
But also another thing in Twila or Aregezebi.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you don't know yourself, we expect our money at so you have to know yourself. For how was it Mathelo? What is it that I love? If Bakira Ariero Groover, why am I going there?
Yeah.
What am I getting from that? One so a lot of us as young people, we do things for the sake of it's hip, it's happening, and it's trending, it's the in thing. But you fail to understand and ask questions, Jawari, what do I stand to gain?
Yeah. Because, for example, let's say, not all grooving is wrong. No.
We are not saying that, but we are saying you have to analyze. Analyze in a way, like, if you had to invite me and say, come to my studio, let's have a session, and there's people that are saying, let's go and groove.
Yeah.
I have to analyze the two. What is it that I'm getting?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You have to do something that rewards you. But if something doesn't reward you, and if something takes away from you, why do you keep on doing it?
Ish. That's the problem. That's why I say we conform or cool, stuff like that. So also the knowing part of you have to know yourself. It's true. We don't know ourselves. We are conducted by everyone.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, at the end, let's say, for instance, okay, I groove what. I take my last money, when we separate, it's me who's gonna go cry at home. Exactly. When you used your extra money, now I used my real money. So it's on the rebalance. Okay. Yeah, I think I understand that one. Yeah, I've seen this. It's happening a lot. I work qualifier golo. And Gananogare qualifier gore guy afford. You go buy your beautiful Benz, rega, then I suffer my whole life. Gabalago chala petrol, petrol ya 50 rand gara Benz. Conformity.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you really hit me there. Okay, you have to know who you are.
Exactly. And baganor you qualify again.
Yeah.
YG. But that money that you are repaying back, you could have taken that money, wareka the mic, create your own bigger studio, and have all these equipments that you want.
Yeah.
Why this is so? What is more important, creating, buying the stuff that would bring you the money, or wasting the money?
I think us as youth, we have a problem of investing. Yeah, we want something quick, just like you said, microwave. We don't know right now. Instead of buying assets, I go buy liabilities or just splash it. The rough road accident funds.
You know, that happens most cases if you do not have a vision.
Yeah.
Vision, then
exactly.
Because you don't have a vision. But vision, you will use it wisely.
Yeah, true.
Why this is and money also it shows the real person.
Yeah. I heard that.
Some of us would rather live a life to please others, where else some of us would rather live a life to please me. Because I understand, or as a coach, I need to have an office, I need to have couches, I would rather take my last money.
Yeah.
Ke reke
Invest.
couch
Yeah.
than uri ke tšea my last money ke tsamaye ke ye do conflict.
Yeah.
A di fail a ke re di do
Yeah,
conflict
di ka down.
di ka down over on. So I would rather sacrifice and
Yeah.
not go to those do conflicts and have the equipment that I need in order to create money.
What your cheleto,
Exactly.
what I got true conflict, yeah, Gucci. Yeah.
Exactly. Even the do conflict, they are host again.
Exactly. See my point. So we lack that. We didn't get financial education at school, or what?
We didn't get financial education, and also le batho ba lo reng re wode re ke ba lebelela.
Yeah.
They failed dismally so.
Teachers. Oh.
Yes, and I guess sometimes re bona ka re ruta ka o bona.
Yeah.
Yes, because but the parents jabrana never talk to us about money. I remember when I started working in Keo Motoko ka age ya 21. That's when I started working, and in the bank. By then it was 2001. I was getting 3.9 in the bank.
3.9 about 39,000 at 2001.
Exactly. And then kitomo bereka auna lebo mme ba dula fase ba ba le nna ka chelete. Lebo ba ba dula fase ba ba le nna ka chelete. I had to struggle ka chelete gi until I understood or no, if you take care of money, it will take care of you.
You see?
But if you misuse it, it will misuse you as well.
Ish.
So problem go again, we don't have such topics even at home with our parents. And as parents, we are failing our children because bana ba bona ba ula ba kya zibe mogola wa chelete. That's why okay fa ngwana chelete or a rwala a kya skolong 20 rand a ke where we fejije. Because giyo mo filong gore a shumise. But o ka ruta ngwana or I'm giving you 20 rand a day. That's 5 times
a week.
A week. How much is that? It's almost like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 100 rand. Exactly. If ngwana ka morutusa out of this 20 rand that I'm giving you, save 10 rand. Aki saver at the end of the month, wajia wa yelena dropong war buy anything you want. Ngwana u khona u bona okay. Chelete ya berekelwa and chelete ka o berekela because now we lo reka something ya kiratang. But re ba fa di 20 rand ba ya ba iravasa aware kenayo I don't even have a problem. Kabisuki mufaye ngwa ya iravaza ngwana lakhe ula o lakhe ziborgeni chelete ya ravaziwa. Yes, why pupura why it's okay udodia yeng.
So what you're practically saying is that we lack information.
Very much so.
Then Lazare, even today there are people who still blame apartheid for not succeeding. So even as youth, we're looking for someone to blame, or we are not where we're supposed to be because someone didn't teach us. We were looking for someone to blame. Which now, there's no one to blame but you. You are where you are because that's where you should be because of how you think and the information that you have.
Exactly.
Because if you knew better, you'd do better. The moment I heard that information that like Kagoya Banewel, in Rovile Belo, but we need. Because if I knew better how to make a billion about 5 years ago, so but because I didn't know, I only know now. And this colon and stuff like that. Who is to blame? It's me. I didn't get enough information. I didn't do research back then.
Exactly.
But now that I know, I do research and I feel like a lot of us youth, we are lazy to read books. Not only just go. They are
lazy to read.
Exactly.
Lazy to research. Lazy to even think.
Exactly.
Lazy to even think.
Yeah.
Because if I can tell you now, a lot of people are gonna copy and paste what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because they see it, banyaga we try, banyaga we do. But there is nobody that's gonna sit and see and say, but I can do something different.
Yeah.
Why do this? So now because this is up and coming, we want to do it. Why one? Because we are lazy to think. We are lazy to research. We are lazy to do something different.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna follow the pattern, guide.
Conformity.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Exactly.
Because as youth, we are supposed to be the future, but if we don't know anything,
We are not going to
because
be the future.
kita inke heta geta ba yama Somalia le ma Ethiopia again they came here badala mabai le the Conformity like bathomile batsamaga mount then jigijigi batsamaga di Corolla ba Kentucky Corolla ba ita ba regisa but you can see the upgrade now they are everywhere they dominated us we've been living here
We don't have
we're
anything.
we're unemployed because we are waiting for somebody to come and employ us they came in and they did something they started something and then they bring their people as students then by another grade ba rega 1400 ba rega private ba rega bargain VVT ba kare ba kizantsha ba bangwe in school not school cup exactly school of hustling but we've been here and ra complain ba re jela dispaza and about jail ba di risa ba referent
I can guarantee you that as a parent I can open the same spaza. Kare ngwana wa ka Kerani. I'm telling you in 2 months time re do ba re tswalede.
exactly
Re do ba re tswalede. Why? Because wo jia tšhelete la diene aya nwa bjala wo jia tšhelete la ya groove ka yona le bala ru tshwantse re o rekiwe stock. So it's not a matter of ma Somalia and all those people ba dile ba da ba re jiela mebereko. No. We were never interested. We were never interested. At I think 4 years back, ke ile ka thoma chimo ka hae. Ntwela onore you know what re ke bjale beetroot. Ka bjala beetroot, ka bjala di carrots, ka bjala spinach, ka diamafil. Bona it came out successfully. Ka buna beetroot engwe ye kholo ka mad. And I was like if the space was bigger. Ke ba ba kae batho ba ke beng go ba rekisetsa. I was going to make money out of that. Ke ba ba kae ba luring within the rural areas ba luring ba ne le ditšhimo. A ona le moswala ka mothiwa re you know what let me rather ke die tšhimo ka e se re khuje o reka tamati ka e se re khuje o reka nyala ka e se re khuje o reka beetroot. But we all want to go out to all these fancy things jeluring all this partying all these things jeluring at the end of the day and you are not getting anything but we all do it because we want to be seen as cool.
It's a problem that one. It's a problem. But at least you can't bagale no molo or battery. Garega bagena. But don't get the amount of go. Exactly. As long as you can't baga youth coach.
Exactly. And there's also another scripture ken keradang. Kere do not waste your youth days.
Okay.
Uska tsinya boswa byawo. Because udore wena muthu yo molo. Wada wa gitsolore if only.
Yes.
Ngeve. Uki reverse yena ngebe akabereka by then. You are 40, you are 50.
Yes. Yeah, that's the problem.
Like this is so you can have all these things, you can achieve, you can attain all these things if you can remain focused and dedicated and know what is it that you want out of life. I remember egibeng khula ke uta ka ramutso o re be re dade. And e re be re dade ka reng khula ka botsa bomme ka re nna a ke nya go do ba le ngwana nkidula kam. A ke nya go da o ba le ngwana ke ka mo a Yesu ke nya ga o da o re nna ke ke be the first person that changes the story of the family. Like I said I started working at 2001 the very same 21 ke thomile bereka ka di 11 ja April 2001 the very same year ka November ka di 27 ja November I signed on the dotted line ka reka ntlo Khabane as a 21-year-old and the bank and finance just because I had that vision again I want to change the story nkinya go re bomme ba egamo ga bugugu le bana ba bona le nna debe nna le bomme le bana ba bo le nna le bana ba ka I wanted to change the story.
But the key point she had a vision.
Exactly. So if you don't have it's a problem.
Okay. Woo. Okay, so the youth. Okay, can you please explain to me what's a NLP practitioner?
NLP practitioner, it's a study, and that study it's all about studying the mind, studying the mind ya motho, or why batho ba ki dias lozo ba zidia, why ba ki behave the way ba behave nga wona.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's basically it.
Okay. And then you told me you're a relationship coach. Yeah, but do it sakalala mat. Mojolo.
I get a better mojolo. It's a pandemic.
So
mojolo will show you flames.
Why Mojolo is always a pandemic. Okay, I'm a guy. I meet a girl on the street, okay. Gamoferia, what do you major? Along 2 months' time, we start fighting. Only to realize again, why is it important to when out takana la moto tomele zevane bele which bulo bedu va swaba dize so zevana
Okay.
mongwe gile ga ba kuferana moswabo je mosoro wa mraza na asga mkwana I just met you Mathelo ge
Gaurata.
which is a lie I think
Gaurata ne do togomen.
You don't know me. I was over guess I was over you don't know anything about me and down the line 3 months time do magaje and I be like go magaje no ngam ko gi behave because I want zeba
Yes.
how do you deal with those situations as a relationship coach?
Okay, are tell me like this. Gi emi mo madumeleni. Gi a emisa koloi ya. Gi a namela. Re a dumedisa no be a nulukile wa drive. Conversation, it's all about what's bana sel jajile afisa. Hey ya no, udi wandi taba mabani. I didn't ask you uya mo guy or you didn't ask me uya mo guy. That's the destination. I get destination give moluringi ro felela ona.
Yeah.
I get worry narzana kara relationship just like that. Le azena la tomo about the weather and whatnot la levala the most important topic.
Le guy.
Uya guy. One twisiza. Yes, I can meet you now and love you now because love it's a decision.
Okay.
If I decide to love you now, I'm gonna love you now. It's a decision. Love it's not how I feel when I think about you or enkubona. Love it's a decision.
Okay.
I can meet you now and decide or you are this guy one takaja kiamurad.
When and I saw go na get rata back.
Now rizana gara lieto together. Renyoko bona ore are we compatible now? Do you love going to church? Number one. Waru no, I don't love going to church. What do you do? Okay, when I relax and no, I love going to the movies. Okay, I can do movies.
Okay.
I love shopping. Okay, I can do shopping. I also love shopping. Okay, but I don't love church. Okay. Now, why wanna I love church, you don't love church. Yeah. So either I'm going to compromise to meet you halfway or I'm not going to compromise.
Yeah.
So you will get to know each other first before we even commit. The biggest mistake that we make is that it's a must to learn and it's not a must. Agere utwana lunyaga mmeroko. Unyaga mmeroko with a CV agere. Dia dala the CV leon. Ka screen aga check out the ones that has got the right qualities.
Qualities, true.
So but wa banje are screen the CV. Ebuti akeda kirga unyaga shona kon.
But what I've realized according to how you say it or mutuno do major. Remember let's look at different aspects. Here's a girl. She's missing a father's love. She feels like that hole. Inyaga a man. And then okay, a man other. She feels like, ooh, yeah. For that moment, only to find out that trailer void yell. So I could say about Nyana Babanchi. For example, Gabanyana, because Gibaferia Wanchi. Asore ba dumeja or ba ratamur void. There could be a lot going on at home with we omtoko akirazi way and then she feels like she needs that love and she's desperate. So much you are down because she just want that and bangwe abanyag they're scared of being alone. They're scared of being alone and at the akazama from a relationship to another one, serial relationship. From this one to this one, this akagor talanagama yagam, and then I cannot hit Siwamar. Mara akuche as they realize what's going on.
Because she's looking for happiness. Remember, Woody, relationships don't bring you happiness. Oh, that's the biggest mistake that we make. Or I'm gonna be happy when I'm in a relationship with somebody else. Happiness yaga. It's my own baby. Yes.
Okay.
I should never burden you gammergo mululu won't you not give happy.
When we say happy.
No. What if Luana you don't know what happiness is?
Eish.
No, let's think about it. Here I am. Ginyagana li happiness. Kitagana Luana kar gyaunyag. Luana wa dumej. Thinking Luana won't the happiness that I want. Luana, you're still searching for this happiness. Don't you think the relationship is gonna be toxic?
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm looking for something from you that I can only give myself.
Yeah.
And Luana, you don't have. And I'm looking for happiness. Nagezana with that expectation. Kafejaga communicated to you. The next thing I get disappointed. Gary, relationships are not worth it.
Eish.
No, I've got a baggage myself.
Eish.
That's why we are saying come for counseling.
Counseling.
So that you can be able to love better.
And
Also understand relationship, it's like, how can I put this? Okay, relationship, it's like the way Enga this week, I'm going to still remain the same.
Yeah.
Relationship. It just adds that value.
Okay.
But it's not supposed to be life itself. I cannot live without you. No, I can live without my husband. Because he's definitely not the air that I breathe.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we tend to make relationships, right? You know what? Why do you say? I'm me before being his wife. Kinna Mathelo before being his wife. Why understand that? I can live and I live without him because I've come to understand that life comes from God, number one. And my happiness should also come from God. I draw love from God in order to give to him. I draw love from God.
Transfer.
I transfer it to my husband.
Okay, Mr. Molelazedu. So
and it's the truth.
Yeah, but then it would take a matured person to actually understand about that. Or naive. So according to what you were saying, a lot of people are lonely, not because loneliness relationship. There's something missing. They think that thing can be filled without with someone. And as more with this happiness, just like you said, if you are not happy with yourself, and at the end of the day, relationship like that toxic, and it takes away all of you now. You're drainer. That's why I don't believe in love anymore.
Exactly.
But now they're the same.
Because we don't take time to find ourselves and understand why am I dating. Understand why am I with this woman or with this guy. You have to understand yourself first. Hence, I find it a problem. 16, 17, 18, 19, they are in relationships. And I'm asking myself, because I'm failing to understand. Here you are, I mean, he's my love. And I'm asking myself, do you understand what you are doing now?
Welcome to a new generation.
Hey, it's a problem. I'm failing to
2000 18 years to engage years. Now 16 major.
That's a problem. And you know, was 16 years about relationships.
Depending on what you are exposed to, anamagwa.
Exactly. And even to allow you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to. Why pressures go for what?
But then that's why the villages or the communities need people like you. You are a woman, so they will relate also. That's why I feel like we need seminars the youth and what about relationships, sharing. The other day I was telling Ore, men don't have seminars. And we are struggling.
And I've once created I've once created an event last year. I think ka September, ka ibija men's talk. You'll be shocked, only 4 men came. But I was happy that they came. They came. And I felt if I can put more effort, kadidia, men will eventually come. Because euga cheka, vanna baimedo, and they do not have anybody to talk to.
Exactly.
And because real, we can put up a show and say, undile, walla, the community outside, akia udi.
Exactly.
And munna mudimba fela jabake mutswara lantulura ID. So we need such.
Yeah. So on the bargain relationship ones, can a broken trust relationship work again?
Yes, it can.
You are talking from a woman's perspective.
Yes, also from a guy's perspective, it can.
Okay.
Remember,
before you go on, there's a line I always see on Facebook. But do men really forgive women for cheating?
yeah, you can. You can.
Yes,
let me put it this way.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. Remember, love is not a feeling.
Okay.
I get. You might be feeling hate. You might be feeling resentment.
Yeah.
I get. Waroke molebelela. Wa ubola zilo zwazi dilengi le mutagola. I get. That one you cannot change.
Yeah.
I get. But uri okirabela as a man. I get. Wena uri okirabela ware. Untwarele milatu yaga. Viale ka renke twarela babandi eteng dipose.
Yeah.
So you can be able to forgive your wife.
Okay.
You can be able to forgive your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. When you forgive, the only thing it makes us believe again, it's because they do not talk about the issues jabobon. As ladies, it's easy because the phone lam cause wakam tells yo wadia so hey umborile ware. It gives you the healing that you need. They are failing because they do not want to talk. It's a struggle for men to attend even therapy even now. They've got issues. Musadi are diagnosed monarage mo. But the moment that he comes in, it wasn't that bad. And why do you say that? We must always remember so
tell me here, or answering the question, do men forgive? Okay, forgive, yes, but there are flashbacks that are gonna come. Okay, for instance, it's either married or in a relationship. You guys, you went through whatever. The girl, you cheated on me. Okay, fine. But I love you. And I don't want you to leave and stuff like that. And then we go buying, right? And you start you scream at me, you do it whatsoever. We're making love. In the back of a man's mind, every man knows this. We're gonna think, so this thing she's doing to me now is the thing that she's doing to the other guy when she cheated on me. And that's where the
problem comes.
Damages you. It will damage you internally, externally, and at that time, everything can just shut down.
Exactly.
How, as a therapist, do you help men with those kind of flashbacks and stuff like that? Because everything will be a trigger. Oh, this and this. Oh, this and this. This and this. And then it develops that hate more instead of decreasing.
You know, such situations, Edgar Diea, as you attend counseling, we are able to deal with it and we talk about it. And, you know, as an LNP practitioner, there's techniques that have been given that I can be able to assist in such a case. But it will only work when I'm you know what, my person or my girlfriend did something which is wrong. I do not condone it, but I have the power to forgive and forget and let go and move on. Because if you are not willing to forget, then you'll always have a problem. And you have got control over your mind. You have got control over your mind. So you can exercise that during that sexual encounter. You can exercise that power to say, I'm not going to even go back to that incident, but I'm going to focus fully on what we are doing here, and I'm going to enjoy what we are doing here. And you're most definitely going to enjoy.
Okay. So on the side of women, it will also depend on if the woman shows remorse or
Exactly.
she does. If she doesn't show any remorse, or I don't even care how you feel, it's where I can say bye bye.
Remember, agere emoto adile poso. You are going to have to man up. And as a woman, you're going to have to woman up. And oh dear, then na poso. I have to ask you the questions, but love, why did you do it?
Yeah.
And oh, okay, dear, did you enjoy?
Eish.
And you have to be honest and answer the question so that I can heal and get the closure so that we can move forward. So banna ba bantsi ba ra no scam bujisa idia the idea the msadi ke phoso e shintshwarele moja ka are gwele bele. Are gwele bele yela mosadi fela ja kere it's fine are gwele bele, but deep down in her heart it's eating her.
I feel like for men it's worse.
It is.
Because now they're men. I've watched too much Tyler Perry movies. You go to deeper information like, did you enjoy it? How did you do this? How did you do that? Was he wearing a protection? Was he, yo?
Because remember, your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend try or ahile.
Yeah.
And I would just say the question, answer really faithfully. So 2 years down the line, it's not gonna come up.
Yeah.
Mara okay answer ragwela beli. 2 months down the line, gore elor mutu onola bebe condom. 2 months down the line, elo rabuzibuzilizidile mo guy. 2 months, why do this? It's always dragging. But if we can kumani ahead, okay, there's a extra affair that you had. Rebutsana the question right there and there. Wa answer faithfully. So whether it's whether it's uncomfortable or not, wa answer was again, we are closing this door. Oh, and follow Weber Kala Yabiani, get a guba jobo dear, and Kiri wanna do gubu. Why do this? You heal by answering all these questions, by asking all these questions. Eleki wala bill, I guarantee you, it goes way to will relationship here.
Because I feel like when you women cheat on a man, sometimes you don't understand what's going on through the man's whole being. Because there's things like, oh, so I'm not good enough. Thomas fast. I'm not satisfying you. That's why we lay over sex with another man. Thomas fast is a man. That manliness, zamaya. So because you made me feel like that.
But you guys also, you are creating issues for yourselves.
Also.
Lerel kizana gara di relationship wa taganele na wargi aurata says you don't togomela. Already umpa the impression or when I don't togomela. Yes, and a rare kitagana kwedia matomo when wangiba gachelede or ware go regulars los outdoor.
Yeah. And then okay.
Remember, I'm not your responsibility. As a woman, I'm not your responsibility. We are getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Unregulated cosmetic so okay, zanagara relationship when I want regular. Kwedi okay and regularly why one it's a problem. Because already when I'm bonchijor when I'm yaga untogomel. Kitogomela gebo mele bab. I'm their responsibility. Go by your responsibility the day you danga yesu after wargidonya la murudu walin. That's the biggest mistake elurubul na banali idea. Les rabela zilo zikule.
Zikule.
Wagibuja runyaga da udiela mutu. Umudiela kama bagafi. Because you are still a child lu ana udiela kama maule babao.
Okay, rekayana more on the relationship basis. Can a relationship work without money?
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Okay.
Kizua ga yesu, gidia ga yesu, kitabaga yesu. Wumele baba ban regular the role on the pets and everything. Kitagana luena, ugwaga yenu, udiaga yenu, tabaga yenu. We are just loving each other.
Okay.
What has money got to do with it?
In this
what has money got to do with it?
in this era full of Facebooks and pressures.
Thing is, we don't understand ourselves. We don't know ourselves, and we don't know what we are doing. Dating is saying, can I please get to know you?
Yeah.
So that I can see if we are working in alignment with each other, if we can be compatible enough to get married. So, Yaraure, what am I doing as an 18-year-old and as a 19-year-old without anything?
Yeah.
How are we getting to know each other, but do you see us getting married now?
Okay.
Why do you see? So the problem starts there. And another problem we create, we want material things. Re feel our egigara relationship, boyfriend can disi mirira 100. Egigara relationship, girlfriend akelile na 100. So I'm in this relationship so that you can buy me stuff and so that I can sleep with you.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
Eish.
How are we different from Boba Leba Yemustraden?
Exactly.
So what are we saying? Exactly. Because when on regular cosmetics, na go family wag. Zifabana guy, Leba Leba Ujia Chelet.
Hard truth to bear.
As a faban.
Yeah. Okay.
As a faban.
So tell me here. Why do people cheat in relationships according to your stats that maybe people came to you? What was the most thing that came out or why they cheat in relationships?
Mostly women cheat because they feel or they are not valued and they are not given the attention. Guys, they cheat because it's temptations. It's not like they don't love their women or stuff like that. It's just temptations. And I would say temptations in a way, we live in a world these days,
Yes. Yeah.
And then into the office, good year the tea, go making guy tea. As munna, you find the tea wajia wanwa. Which there's something inside. Okay, molebelela, awukabona sesuola in the office. Ubona somebody that you can do this life thing with. Then a relationship starts from there. That's where most men that have had one-on-one interactions with the relationships of 1.2 million gawon. But I've never had a man woluringi unonori, you know what, I don't love my wife anymore. And also another thing that ruins tabaya relationship, geofugaja aban. Because most men ba fugaja, most men ba we are late. Tukumanelor munna is a married man, but we are 9 got 10. Asilem Sadua I knows. Weekend he wants to chill with the boys. Saturdays or Sundays he want to go to Sunday sessions. Musadi Sadai knows. Musadi ends up feeling, you know what, I'm not valued, I'm not needed, and the moment that Musadi feel like that, she's gonna communicate to Ray love, and aki communicate or love, she's nagging. Balabubedi balaborar. Udo abanjili anji until I feel or ankab. And be like to make formula. Be careful. That's when a relationship starts.
When you go the sugar, not sugar, but the opposite. Sugar mama nyaga.
Exactly.
The small boys.
Exactly.
This is like why That's
the problem. Rejola because we don't want to put in the efforts gara the relationships jaburen. It's easy to get somebody else you are not going to talk serious stuff with. Remember when you are in a marriage relationship, we talk serious stuff. Rea about the school fees, rea about the challenge, taxi. It takes away the joy in a marriage relationship. One this is rea about the finances. Jelu ring lo tagana di tagani. Ufeleja toya ukifisa wa feel no, I thought why did something easy. It's difficult. Why this is then you tend to go outside wanyaga something that would excite you. That's something we see about the finances liena ugila excite her at some point. So if you can just invest more time into her, into the marriage ito excite.
Yeah. Which leads me to question most married men think it's better on the outside to unyaga 2,000 ananyana. You find yourself at 2,000 as a married man, or fuga jana, you know. And then but 2,000, what do you think they want in married men?
The banyaka chaled. There's nothing else. Banyaka chaled.
And you find that okay, the guy now spends more time with the kid
More than
the wife, and at home obviously it's going to be problems. And because most men say they're not getting the sex that they want at home compared to what they found in the streets at these little kids. And if from a man's perspective, okay, again, yeah, but I'd say from what I've heard, which is true, because why? Masadi guy, guy, comfortable, really. Akadia no jela bakidi arkatagana o komodisa style kiore unyandiala khosha wena ngina khosha and kela kal 2000 ma 2000 style for that true because yeah says apopele di magaba za boya za dia nene like this. So you see there's no competition there.
Biggest problem is that kadwana it's all nice.
Yeah.
Remember, I always tell people, you will change after marriage. And they always say, don't change. But change is something that you can't avoid. You will change. Again, change in a way, when you get married as a tiny person, maybe for instance. Why maybe gamuti body ya change.
Yeah.
Immediately body ya change. Utanador ugo uyagande uri because body ya change. I get body I change to fact or feel bana. So I believe or as a man you should be able to love me more. Or you know what, if she was a size 32 and just because of my kids she's now a size 36.
Okay.
Why do you say so? Men don't understand. Vanna aba do the changes jeluring they put us under. Abe ngebeluru astaba ya ufa wena bana. Kube nkono remain a size 32. Mara because now I'm a size 36, you feel irege gwagia gande ginyageli 2,000. I used to do those things, but now I can't because of my body weight. So what are you saying? You didn't love me as a person, you loved my body.
On the contrary, wouldn't we say I bring it to the table or okay, one majak gabana to gain the weight and how about we join gym together? Isn't it a solution?
Exactly.
Oh.
About most men that go out babalidi relationships, they are actually running from issues that they have at home.
Oh.
Trying to numb. Go like udojam, something called fodisa, udimwa the pain yeba ifilang. Instead of going through the pain and healing together as a couple.
Okay.
Abe you cannot expect musadi wa hore wena o khiyo wile mmerogone a thatswe a clean a aine a udiele everything wena o boyo dobie maududu matafola a o feja o dia feja nche a ise ka kitchen a thatswe dibiana jela thuse bana ka di homework wena o dudu tshwere newspaper ele khia ka more no feja o nyaka o do umudi agreement. I mean, why do you say samar? Most men don't help. Abanna babanji ababe. Banna babanji abathazu dibyana. Banna babanji abathusi bana ka di homework. Monna unyaka o ya mmereko na boya be maududu mwatafola. Akhumane ja o di everything. Okay zana ka kamore wena o labile yena unyaka o di agribane ka monoka ya o igwile ki boron. How possible is that? O ka se dumeje. Wana o re ke labile. But monna woloring is intentional with loving his wife. O dor ak we mmereko na re mwaja ka bana ba dile di homework. Irugu thuseka bana mwaja kana so khia be irigi ya be wa mu prepare ro khizana ka kamre no khiri ibagiribane alumeje because why umuthusije ka mishumo yele bathando ba idile. So banna ba banji they don't want that, they don't want to help.
Also on that one yama 2000, so let's say I'm no longer giving you at home, I go to the 2000 and stuff like that. women, do they get to a point where okay, nabe mutru, I can't twara long twara. Why in care gwilena? Gakumana something yana, gedordono tagana bezeni guy. Do they do that?
Basadi bagasi normally remember awona musadi oloring utodumela o family wa wakhe so fepelo. Basadi we are attached. Yeah. We give you our hearts before we can give you our bodies. Before musadi akhe kwakho bale affair, udo ba tryile by all means uri hey ndoda mbone.
Yeah.
Mbone. And akhe bona ra awummoni. Okay we okay ezela. Unyoko utshwara yena. It's up until when I look jail zola woke futela bua. Gimolurundo kono bonor blege mabuze rara kafanan. Blege maran wisani maids. Really naginor. But it will take time before agagwela gande. It will take time. Aksala ke gwela gando uzibor bela aka gwela gandori irigide gibuye. Ugwela gande ugwela kamgale di begeja because she's out.
Man. Era wana mara sale complicated. Mana let's say les them beteni. Wa furelela lebela go. Udogare utade. Why?
Exactly, because basadi we are emotional beings. We want that emotions. We want to hug. We want to nyagawezela on the chest. Ugilobon. Hence, it's a problem to most women. That act ukijiga ukilibela wam like heaven. Don't use it just to release. Why do you say that? Release, but then I want you to ukumane time, hug me, like cuddle with me, tell me all those sweet nothing
things.
One do you say that?
Yeah.
But immediately okay, release our feja wa jega about no, I was just releasing. I just wanted to release on you. Then I'm okay.
So tell me here, did you get cases where women especially they say, I'm not satisfied sexually at home. I feel like I should just get it somewhere else and without telling the husband?
Barely that it's a problem. I think as women, liberal problems because 99% of women that I've come in contact with, abazibe orgasm again.
Yeah.
Orgasm again. Why do this? Yeah. Because why am I doing this? Why do you want to sleep with me? Start screaming. How do we say lo? But you start screaming. That's why that orgasm because how do we say at the end of the day? Why do we say that? Then I can follow because because why do this? But I get as a couple we need to communicate. Or love, we're taking a trip. Okay, love, destination giga, I'm taking you to Polokwane. Okay, let's go to Polokwane. I was so started to go low, but shout like
shout.
Why do you say? But if you can just get to a stage get understand okay, a road. Then you enter. Okay, all right. Blegamo wajigiwa. Kiazidor okay, wajigiwa. All right, Bialuzamai was straight. By the time you get to Polokwane, you would have enjoyed the ride. But Rinyagori, all those things Jeru Dwang Bakidia Barnyago Didia. And Okumanelo Adirberege. Hence, Basadiba Banshi, we are in marriages, but we're not satisfied and we don't know what orgasm is. Because we just start screaming.
I think that's where the problem is because
exactly.
Just like I said, I've watched too much Talapedi movies. Confession of a Marriage Counselor. It's where the guy and the girl, Banyalan, they're used to the traditional how you say it.
Exactly.
And then they do this and this. So at work, she finds a guy who whispers ideas into her.
Exactly.
And okay, have you ever done it in the kitchen?
Exactly.
Have you ever done this in the shower?
Then it becomes something, it's more interesting.
Exactly.
Why
and then the more she thinks about it, then she tries that thing you told Ore. She first goes to her husband and go tell the husband, let's try this. And the husband's like, no man, this is done like this.
Exactly.
It doesn't listen. And then she wants to, now she's eager to see what this guy is talking about. And you can see he's well built up. And at the end of the day, he does that, he tempts her, and then he gives her how he imagines it and how he knows it. These are new stuff to her. Orgasms and all this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, kitchen, she's never had that. She says, okay, now this is it. She's
Exactly.
when she goes to the husband, he still wants to the same thing.
Remember, like I said, remember, emsadi o muna meda kutoma screamer. When what are you thinking?
Gidiya
Zona,
John,
Susan.
yeah.
And now the zona, but because yana was screamer, oh for the impression Gidiya zona, wana bona agimo kotil. Okay na, one this is. But if we can get to relax.
Which
Relax and ego do Lord, okay, akitena.
Yeah.
Go do something akitena.
Yeah.
It's then that I would be able to direct your love tena good. And what
Yeah.
no, keep it there.
Yeah.
One understand that. But how many of us have we been in relationships where the very first time that we had sex, yabantuela ure, it's a talking experience. Ure love right? Am I okay? Are you
Communication.
comfortable?
Yeah.
Gidiya zona.
Yeah.
Wafita mwajaga, I'm there, must I gigidiye na just for you to reach.
Yeah.
One this we don't do such. Ridwana melana wavutiwa waiwa. Just because I'm screaming when as my husband ura bona msadi ulagi amufa. Wakagi amunikage.
But
and audi zona enen nagia so I cannot
Yeah.
communicate with
Yeah.
one mwajaga gia so because already lina giugia screamer when I show ra msadi wakagu diajo mna waka msadi wakagi mufabuzi. Hence she's responding. Why do this? That's where moloring retomo bonore. Abuzuza kia kozofan.
But also screaming doesn't mean no you are enjoying it. It can be you are hating me.
Exactly. Marabia like the norm is that when you scream go abona.
Yeah, John. But how problem your communication is that as men, the ego that we have, if you come to us and you tell us, baby, Esha, now when you do this, you're hurting me and stuff like that, or you're not satisfied me, not the exact word, but I'm gonna feel like I'm less of a man.
Problem yaban is that you get offended easily. And I think if you can listen to your partner early in bedroom, you will win. Remember, awagawana kiagam. Ura there's something I feeling. Move with her. Bele ukumana lebanna balabar okay move kiagam. Ara waman ki nyaga so. His yenaga buyena
He makes it about him.
Yes, that's where the problem lies.
Yeah.
Urliet dan kudoga nga movela the side ga udo defa. Yena we nyaga the side. It's about him. Mara a right person would say let's move together. One this is and when we move together, remember you can only get pleasure if I'm also giving you pleasure. Yeah. So I give you pleasure and you give me pleasure in return. One this is if you focus on me getting the pleasure, I'm also gonna focus on you getting the pleasure. So sex is never about being selfish. Most people are selfish.
So I don't understand these people. And she got Facebook, or my 80s, my 70s, I was kiss and stuff like that. So also. Marriages that I know now, I ask when I meet people. I wanna like I got a mistake. A lot of girls that I met also in Kababuji said question, they say low value men especially they don't know foreplay.
Okay, but I get it as a lady.
Yeah.
When I meet a guy, it's all about us teaching each other.
Yeah.
I get it. You don't know my body. I also don't know yours. Yeah. We as much as we are learning each other, I'm also exploring your body, you're also exploring mine. So, we can take time. And it also boils down to let's talk. As much as let's not rush into doing things. Let's talk.
But
Give us but they don't know the fantasies. You need to sit and talk. Do you have any fantasies? How can I fulfill those fantasies? If it's doable, do it. You know what, this one I'm not willing to do, and these things are not allowed to enter our bedroom. But if those things are not harmful and they are doable, then do it.
do it.
One do is luring is a perfect kisser. It's a skill you enhance her on a daily basis. If you don't kiss each other, then you'll remain a terrible kisser. But if you kiss when you go out every day, 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 2 minutes of your time and say, I'm just gonna kiss and give her that romantic kiss and do that. I'm telling you, wow, Kefela, you'll be the best kisser. But we become horrible kissers because we don't kiss.
But which tells me, you have to do research with your women or what. Baby, let's try this new thing. Baby, let's try this new thing.
You have to. That's why we communicate. Even in the bedroom, we adula. Rara mwajaga rijiali doria gai rojiga mrabalala. Hak adisuk.
Okay, but it becomes a problem where you girls just go outside and talk as girls. So then, because of fudge.
Out to Cecile. Go babu jabalieng.
But that one jela.
No, na ntobo idiang. Better give uja we. No ra wa mwajaga udisi. Audisi lo love. Whether a sugar coat or sugar coat, the fact remains in code kilo. And if you want to munna utanduru ukigwata
here's what I've realized. You tell me, baby, ginyare reshomerze for play bail. Uri guide lo jaje. Ugodi bana kagwandaga.
Get problem ya bana ya new. That's why nkiribana ba defensive over everything.
But think about it. Where did you see it? Where you wanna come and test with me?
Basadiri bathu bamba rea research rea Google and all that
Not
stuff.
in a man's mind. In a man's mind, you've done it somewhere.
That's the problem. But you know what works is in 12 hours we research udujina. What you love bona mo ba bagain.
Oh, skillfully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, I've always seen couples valoringi ukumaneluri they are into pornography and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, what a waste of time. What a waste of time. Legalo dzwalala le ba dribble na benyini go re bona la di brick fall la dia ya bolena. Rather than to sit and watch others, you can do it yourselves.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in marriages. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to church. I heard already from quoting scriptures you are a believer. Why do you think there's many cases of divorce in churches?
Because people are holy. Wives and husbands are too holy.
Okay, I wanted the two.
They're too holy. I mean, gizana gagamre nika bibili, what for? Gizana gagamre nika di tongues, what for?
God bless my food before I eat.
No, rabela dining room. Let's pray at dining room. I mean, we also problem Christ is that sex is a sin.
Oh yeah. Leunyade.
And you know, growing up as a young girl, I remember also the day that we got married, I don't know aware that no move. That's the problem in the church. They tell you don't. But the moment that you are approved to do it, nobody comes and say, "Bona anybody."
You can.
And we too holy to such an extent. Even some of the things for them to say it, it becomes as if it's a sin.
Yeah, because
they cannot even mention the word sex without feeling guilty.
Yeah.
They cannot even mention the word sex without feeling guilty. That's where the problem comes in.
Which is a gift from God.
Exactly. Mudimu I've created so that you can enjoy. Are be forever intoxicated in the love of your wife. And let her rivers shouldn't flow outside.
Yeah.
Drink water from your own well, yes. Yeah. Drink water from your own well. You are licensed to do so. You are given the right to do so. Whether it's on top of the table, you are licensed to do so. Our biggest problem is that we are too holy.
Yeah, because I've realized you give him in this style. For us in church, it will be like, hey, that's a sin. God wants us to just lay down. Yeah.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. And you find now enjoy at the moment. We site yam bed. 110 yam bed enjoy but you've made it to be all about the bed. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on the bed or in the bedroom. It can be anywhere, as long as the place is safe, as long as the place is enjoyable and there's no disruptions and you are free, then let it be.
Because also remember, let's say when I'm a pastor. Some of the things that I do, let's say I'm not satisfying you like that, and you want out. And why hesitate? Because what would you're looking at my reputation? What would the church say? Exactly. What would the people say? And you're not happy. How do you deal with that?
I think most times we should be transparent, number one. I get we are not living life for anybody.
Yeah.
We are living for ourselves. And if you are not happy, there's ways Jeloring you can get rather than walking out. Remember, God doesn't love divorce.
Yeah.
So we are not honestly advocating for divorce, but we are advocating for ways to be able to assist you and your person be able to deal with such issues. But most of the time, pretender. If I'm happy, let it be known that I'm not happy.
Yeah.
If my husband and everything I did yang I takaji, let it be known that my husband lojadi yang I takaji. Rekumane zila jaudi lugisa, rather than pretending or all is well where all is not well.
It's a problem in church, and also just like you said, Ore, in churches people don't like if they say the word sex. They feel like they've sinned against God, and which is. As men, we don't talk a lot about this stuff in church. We don't have that group conversations where, hey, nabe, this and nagabalo again three, hey, nabe, hey, aizoe. You feel like it's a sin, and that time you are married. As married men, you have to say, hey, mona, I have this thing, hey, this thing. You don't have to even go to men's clinic.
Exactly.
The
problem is that and unyaka face that thing alone. And when you are facing it alone, I love I'm going through a phase or I do. So okay, what are you telling her? I don't want you. You are not good enough anymore.
I go feel.
Exactly. So msadi wa batho fela ja ake thoma ke butsore hey ke do sebebuze ke do se kamutana on. What is the problem? Not knowing what problem lies with you. So if we can learn to be transparent and say hey mwajaka abe wona awukazu. What do we do? I get it's no longer about you alone. It's about the two of us. We are one flesh. So we have to find ways to reduce. And mix the concussion love. But if you don't talk, how would I know?
It's communication.
Exactly.
And also, how did I want to put it? In churches, in churches, Antonia group sessions, we don't talk about that. It overcame my mind. Okay, we'll come back to it. What do you think? This is the cases that I've met. What do you think about in church? He is a leader.
Okay.
And una imamrutu wao. But then he sees another sister in the church, and then he hits, doesn't waste time, he hits there and stuff like that. What do you think happens in the spiritual world when you hit here, hit there, and you have a wife that time? Hit there and hit here and hit here, because I think, or I heard already, there's this thing called soul ties. Even in our last conversation, we had someone here talking about soul ties and stuff like that, and everyone has their own opinion. But do you think that man, as a leader in the church, would still be able to lead his congregation, knowing, or okay, he's doing all this stuff in the circle of the church with these ladies, and spiritually, it's something. It does something.
I think life is spiritual.
Yeah.
You might be able to lead. He might be able to lead his church, but remember, there's a sin that was committed by sleeping with that lady. And Eloriena Muni, he continues and goes on without asking for forgiveness. That's still like and as much as he might put up a show and preach and I get to remember emudima feel a gift, whether or right with him or you are wrong with him, will never, he'll never take it away. So perform the miracles, but mudimo awoya Adafitara, I do not know you.
Yeah.
Because you do not belong to him. Because you've got sins that you haven't really asked for forgiveness.
Yeah.
But also, immediately when you sleep or you give your body to somebody else, get soul ties. I get, and get more ya with you, and you go back home le moya with this person as well. And you know, now you've opened the door for a whole lot of things to come into your marriage relationship. That's why the Bible says, let your marriage bed remain pure.
Yeah.
And let it be sacred, because I see into our bedrooms. And I would give an example and say all the sex toys now advertise, those things you can bring them in, but you do not know the impact that they will have on your sex life as a married couple. As much as having a relationship and sleeping with people will have an impact within your marriage relationship. There's instances where you've slept with somebody and let's assume it's an affair. Batho ba shumisa dithara wa khumana le ro khezela le yena o ba shumisije o ba adile ritual wa ya wa etsela le mosadi wa ba jia the luck ya mosadi wa or ba briga dilo ja mosadi wa or ba briga dilo jao just through sexual intercourse. So there is a lot. Hence we say, you know what, you don't have a reason to go outside. Rather sit and have an honest communication with yourself and your husband and your wife to say, love, I see all other areas, Jabupilo, we are doing well, but sexually I am starving. Sexually I get kori. Can you put more effort into this and that and that and that? Rather than you going out. And if monaki feel, or you know what, I see batubalurengi ba dressed well, be very mini and all that. I mean, you can always buy those things for your wife, a wabarela within the comforts of your home, so that you feel exactly the way that you want to feel when you see them. Yeah. Rather than going out. And also another thing that I've realized the time that I got married was that unyalo age monna waka didn't stop me from seeing other guys baba woods. Just because unyade, it didn't stop me from seeing other guys. Wow. Yes. Stoko.
Well, it's gonna be hard on men who really
like
who accepted that.
I mean, this guy is well built. Kidilo, this guy. But it doesn't mean I want him to be mine. I've got my husband. I'm happy with him. But that doesn't mean give for father to see other beautiful things. Hence, I'm saying to ladies, ukumane luru zamale munna wajiga wa mulibelela munyana. Basadi ba gwada. Why okay gwada? I mean, ubuzo bagilo ne lidi keve wena unajo ugwatela yini. Le nagya jiga ke libela liena ubuzo ager love. Ududi alright ububela ager. Re admire bote. Why is it a problem? Why should it be a problem?
Yo.
Why should it be a problem? I mean, we know so so
retro.
Then that's why but wabanjiba ga ramanyalo mara bakia phele bophelo ba bo 100% wa pretendiwa. Why do you say that? Because ge chaba renga bar musadi o buze musadi wa ga wo gwad. Why must I pretend with you? So you don't pretend that the rest of my life. Oh, and I don't want that type of a marriage. Let's be honest with one another. Love musadi o buze. And again need to manja ga lina ga mana o buze. Maragiri, you chose me. And in your eyes, I'm the most beautiful of them all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what you should run with.
Exactly.
Yo.
Exactly.
We've come to the end of our show today with Coach Mathelo. What a very interesting topics. Yo, I hope with the little that you gave our viewers, they will be able to take it and run with it and build their relationships. If it's relationship, if you are a youth, you've heard also what you can do about it. You have to have a vision and run with it. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. And also, furthermore, it's just a little that you had, but furthermore, if you want more information, you can tell them your information, or where could they get you, how should they find you, and you told them what you deal with. So you can look at your camera and tell these people, beautiful people, what you...
Bona, yeah. I'm all for marriages. I'm all for relationships. And if you are out there and you are a group of guys and you feel, or you know what we can do with this type of teaching, we can do with this type of sessions, Bona, I'm available for you guys. And if you guys are listening and you are a bunch of young kids and you feel, or you know what, I've lost that hope, I do not know where I'm going, I'm just going through life because but I don't have that vision and I don't really understand the purpose or why am I here on earth. What is it that God has brought me on this earth to do? If you are that person and you feel or you need my type of services, I'm available. But now I just want to reach out to those people. Here we are a group of 5 young guys or 5 young girls and we'd love to have you. I'll definitely come free of charge. I'm saying free of charge. If you are a group of people and you organize and say, Bona, Remadumeleni, please come and have a session with us, I'll most definitely come. And if you are in marriage and you are struggling as a wife, you are burdened, Bona, udujuduma pramastofu, waswa on a daily basis, waswa, and you need our services, I'm also here to assist you. And most is, especially if you are a guy and you feel you know what, I'm weighed down, I'm in this marriage or I'm in this relationship, it's a roller coaster ride and nothing is going well. I've tried to talk, but every time I talk, I get dismissed. I am here for you. And my office is situated at Zanin. I'm right next to Mediclinic on your left hand side, on your right hand side, sorry. Just when you are about to walk into Mediclinic, there's a block of offices and we are at number B3, Ivory Tusk Lodge. And you can also call me. My number is 082-677-9785. I'll repeat it, 082-677-9785. I'm on Facebook, Tishejo Petunia Molam. I'm on TikTok, Coach Mathelo. So do get in touch and allow us to assist you as you navigate through life so that we can be able to move you from that grave to your desired garden. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From me and Mathelo today, me, Kepa, your freshest comedian, and from the couch where everything goes. Thank you guys. See you next time. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Kepa, K-H-E-P-H-A-R, and on Facebook, Kepa also, and on Instagram, Kepa, and on TikTok is Kepa4, and where you're gonna get on all social pages. If you wanna have fun in comedy side, we have video comedy videos there, and our podcast there, The Couch. Go and subscribe, go like, go do everything. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your spouses to follow. See you next time. Out.
Thank you.
Bye.